Even the best marketing right now can't save the wrong product. Many e-com businesses are doomed to lose money before they even start. But when you get it right, you can now have your next 6-7-figure product, physical product, e-commerce product that you're selling to your customers. So in this video, I'm going to show you my 6P process that has helped countless e-commerce owners crush their product selection, including myself. For example, Eric here, he sent me a random thank you. He's achieved around 6,800 orders per month right now following this process. There's Doug, who started with us at the beginning of the year, and he's now looking for new fulfillment centers to handle the order volume because, frankly, he's tired of packing his own orders. Once you've got all these steps, you will be able to quickly find and validate the right products, which is gonna save you time, it's gonna save you money, and it's gonna save you a lot of frustration. So let's break it down, starting with what I call the first P, the first P of a perfect product. When we are shipping our products through a container overseas, or we're flying our inventory over into the United States, I want that product to be small in size, because the bigger it is, the more cost of shipping I'm going to have to charge. Think about it. A 40-foot high cube container is about right now $5,000 to $7,000 just to bring over. Plus you got duties, you got taxes, you got tariffs. So we're just gonna stick with the $7,000, just make math easy. So $7,000 is what I'm paying just for the container. Let's take an example product, paintbrushes. I can put about 40,000 paintbrushes in that container. So I would take $7,000 divided by 40,000 paintbrushes. Well, quick math would tell you that's about 17 cents per paintbrush. However, if I was gonna ship over four-wheelers instead of paintbrushes inside that same container, the shipping cost won't change. I can fit about 12 four-wheelers in that container. So what that means is my cost of shipping is now $7,000 divided by 12 units, 12 four-wheelers. That's gonna come out to about $583 per four-wheeler. Instead of 17 cents per paintbrush, I'm now a little over $500 per four-wheeler. So when I look at this, I want a product to be small in size, because if it's small in size and I'm shipping by sea or I'm shipping by air, the shipping cost associated to each individual product is now micro versus macro. That's why the first P is poultry. When looking at products to sell, I want it to be small in size. And this is very important to maximize your end profits, which brings me to our second P. The second P of a perfect product. Well, so far we have our first P, poultry, which is a product, right? So once you have your product, you still have to ship it to the customer, whether that's through UPS, DHL, FedEx, United States Postal Service, whichever one. In the States, shipping goes by two things. It goes by weight of the product and or the size of the product. By just following the first P, we've eliminated the second one. Now we tend to lean on weight. So the big carriers, right, they're gonna charge me shipping rates that are now dependent on the weight of the product. The heavier that product is, the steeper the shipping costs become. So by keeping your product lightweight, you can throw it into a simple poly mailer or a bag and ship it for $3 to $5, which is honestly pretty super cost effective. Now compare that to something like a piece of furniture from Wayfair. That could easily set you back $400 just to move one dresser, one drawer. That's why I always look for products that are lightweight. Example of that would be this P51 can opener. These were used in the war. Soldiers would keep these on their belt. It helped them open cans of food. They're perfect for nostalgia, a little gift for veterans. We sold 60,000 units of these in 1 year alone to our Second Amendment audience. This is why, my friends, the second P for a perfect product is all about minimal weight. I call it petite. So you want to write down the second P is petite. However, just because the product is small, the product is lightweight, still does not guarantee you profit. Which brings me now to the third P. The third P of a perfect product. So I discovered the third P when I was having the conversation with this guy. And what he does is he renovates hospitals. He explained how he sources materials from China to save costs. Smart man. But then I asked him, okay, so what are the challenges that you've seen? Without hesitation, he said, breakable items, they suck. I was like, oh, that's interesting. So he shared how they shipped a container one time of tiles. And when the tiles arrived, they ended up with 10% breakage rate during that transit. So while they paid for 1,000% of the tiles, what they received was only 90%. And then they're at the port, they still had to get to the hospital. When they shipped it from the port to the hospital, they got another 10% breakage rate, which is pretty crazy. But if we can apply that to a different scenario like coffee mugs, ceramic mugs, breakable mugs. Let's say you ship 100 mugs from China to here, international transit, you're gonna lose 10%. And then when you ship that to the customer through UPS and FedEx and they're kicking and tossing those boxes, expect another 10%. Now you're down to 20% breakage. You have 80% of product that's still intact. Then the customer calls, they say, hey, my product arrived damaged. So now what do you gotta do? You gotta ship them a new one. So you can see how that easily hit 23% breakage rate. Pretty nasty. That's why I focus on items that are durable. Products that, don't break. Products like this police bracelet. It's lightweight, it's compact. They don't shatter into pieces, right? Sold 12,000 of these to police officers, spouses. 25 bucks a bracelet, our cost was 60 cents. So when sourcing products, durability plays a huge role. Breakable items can wreak havoc on your margins. They might look good at first, but you put in the breakage rates and it falls apart. That's why the third P of a perfect product is permanent. I want it to be unbreakable, but I gotta warn you, just because your product is now unbreakable can still cause some headaches if you don't follow the next P, which leads me now to the fourth P. So the fourth P, what could that be? Just imagine for a minute selling something like t-shirts or shoes or socks or jackets or gloves. You have no idea what size your customers will order. You're forced to stock every possible size. Small, medium, extra large, 2XL, 3XL, 4XL, beyond. Suddenly, one product turns into 7, 8, or even 10 different SKUs. Like, that's ridiculous. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna pull hard on your cash reserves because you can't just bet on one size. You have to stock all of them to ensure that you're ready for, well, any order of any size. But then if you guess wrong and you run out of a specific size, you lose sales too. Or worse, you're stuck with a pile of sizes that you can't sell. I think you can see why that's a disaster. Now compare that product to something like gun oil. You can now invest just a portion of your cash flow into just one product, one SKU. There's no guesswork, no extra inventory, there's no wasted money here. With this gun oil, we sold 50,000 units of this guy, 2-ounce bottle of gun oil, to gun owners. They absolutely love it. They bought more of it. And that's why the fourth P for me of a perfect product is prevent. Prevent from having sizes. When sourcing products, I avoid products that require sizes. For me, it's one size fits all is the way to go. And when you found your one size fits all product, you can start drilling down on the profit margins, which I kind of want to cover here in the fifth P of a perfect product. Probably one of my favorite all-time products so far that we've sold is this Christmas ornament. This Christmas ornament makes a mock of during 2020. Maybe you guys remember that, you recall that? That was the year that toilet paper went crazy on eBay. People wearing masks, going wild, like restaurants were shutting down. Remember those? We made these Christmas ornaments for 26 cents. We sold them for $12.95. Pretty wild, right? We did over $3.2 million in sales in 3 months just selling this ornament, which is why when I look at products, the first thing I look at for the product is I need the cost of the product to be low. So the fifth P of a perfect product is purchase price is low. But my goal obviously is never to be, the first to zero when it comes to selling my products online. That's kind of where the magic needs to happen, which leads me, by the way, to the final P, the sixth P of a perfect product. Great example of that would be this guy. Take a USB-C charging cable, for example. You can buy these things for pennies. Yet this morning I was at a gas station, convenience store, 3-foot charging cable was on the shelf. They wanted $12.95 for it. Think about that. Like a product that costs mere pennies, cents to produce is selling for over $12. I'll take that markup any day, and I'm pretty sure you will too. And that's what we're looking for. That's the type of markup that I'm looking for. When perceived value of a product is high, but the cost of the product, the purchase price, is low. Well, when that happens, you create this gap which unlocks a kind of profit margins that obviously will make your business thrive. So the 6P of a perfect product is perceived value is high. Keep your costs down, get your profits up. When you go through this list, when you check these off, all these P's, you got P number 1, paltry, you got P number 2, which is petite, P number 3, which is permanent, non-breakable, P number 4, prevent from having sizes, P number 5, purchase price is low, and of course the last P, number 6, is perceived value is high. By just following those 6 P's, you can see how now you don't have to guess or hope that you're gonna make sales, that you're gonna make profits. You now kind of possess the same crystal ball that we use to scout out our products that honestly are destined to succeed. So by focusing on these 6 P's, you'll be able to identify and launch products inside your market with confidence. Products that aren't just good, but win. If you're looking to implement these 6 Ps inside your e-commerce business and you want to be guided on each step with my personal feedback, where I will personally show you how to build a community, build a customer database, find 6P products that do win, and ultimately have you taking profits home, which, by the way, gives you a life that you deserve. Because at the end of the day, I like to win, and I think you like to win. I would love to win together. So below this video, inside the description, you'll see a link to join me. Have me, myself, Trey Lewellen, help guide you on how to find winning products like these that you can sell and build a profitable brand. Click that link, and I'll see you on the inside.